Hi everyone, my name is John and welcome to episode 2 of Homeless Movies, where I give secondhand films a second chance to be appreciated. Next week is Valentine's Day, and I've chosen to take a look at a story as old and outdated as the patriarchy, but it only cost me $1 at the local movie stop as it was going out of business. So let's dive right into this rendition of a classic German fairy tale, 1955's Schneewittchen. 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 Schneewittchen.
Schneewittchen.
Schneewittchen.
Schneewittchen.
Schneewittchen. Alright, you know what? It's Snow White. It's Snow freaking White. The movie was directed by Eric Kobler and narrated for the American version by Paul Tripp and produced by Schonger Films. Not to be confused with the other German production company, Schlonger Films. Their version of Snow White's a little different. It's got two girls and they're fighting over a cup or something. So our story begins in a castle with a woman who would eventually become Snow White's mother.
Once upon a time, in deep, deep winter, when the snowflakes were falling like feathers from the sky.
Actually, those are feathers. A plane plowed through some geese right above the castle.
And as she looked up from her sewing at the snow, she pricked her finger with the needle, and 3 drops of blood fell upon the snow.
And so begins the blood sacrifice in order to create a human life. Do those drops of blood falling into a triangle mean that Snow White is part of the Illuminati?
She thought to herself, oh, if only I might have a child with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as the ebony window frame.
Man, talk about some unrealistic beauty standards. Do you want vampires? That's how you get vampires! Snow White's mother died in childbirth. I guess the 3 drops of blood wasn't enough for the equivalent exchange. Snow White's father remarried a year later to a woman who would eventually grow to hate Snow White for becoming more beautiful than she is. Snow White's stepmother is considered the most beautiful woman in the land, at least until Snow White's 16th birthday. Prince Charming eventually hears about Snow White's great beauty and decides to come see it for himself, because sliding into her DMs and asking, "You up? How about some nudes?" didn't quite exist yet. Are we sure we're not watching the Schlonger version? She's still got a pearl necklace in her hair. Oh shit, someone's coming. We have to guard now.
Halt! Out of the way. I've come to see Snow White.
Wait, hey, did he just do that? Is he allowed to do that? Imperial stormtroopers make better guards than these guys.
But I demand to see Snow White.
Oh my god, that's Prince Charming? That's the Prince Charming you're going with. That guy. That guy's a schmuck. He looks like Prince Valium from Spaceballs. That guy looks like Andrew Daly if he was auditioning to be the Berries and Cream boy. The prince decides to give Snow White a necklace for being the fairest in the land, because back in those days, being pretty was the highest honor a woman could achieve.
Give me that necklace.
The queen, in denial, steals the necklace and then takes it to her magic mirror to ask the fateful question.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?
Lady Queen, you are fairest here, it's true. But Snow White is 1,000 times more fair than you.
Oh, burn!
1,000 times fairer than I.
Snow White is 1,000 times more fair than you.
I love how it's like, seriously, 1,000 times better than you. Plus 1,000 times prettier? I haven't seen this much shade thrown at a queen since season 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Tired ass showgirl.
Showgirl, at least I am a showgirl, bitch. Go back to Party City where you belong.
You know, it's not like one day Snow White just happened to be more beautiful. It was a process. Like, was it 50-50 for a while, and then one day the mirror just decided, wow, those Pilates classes are really working? Or did the mirror wait until she was, like, of legal age and then be like, oh, yep, now she's hot. Now. Not yesterday, but now. Totally wasn't hot before. Nope. The queen decides that Snow White has to go, so she summons the hunter for a top secret mission.
Take her to the woods and kill her.
Well, that was over the top for no reason, but I still feel like it was missing something.
Take her to the woods
There we go. Let this be a reminder that if you don't think farts are funny, you're wrong. So the huntsman takes Snow White out into the woods, but he just can't bring himself to kill her.
She has ordered me to...
What?
She has ordered me to...
Tell me, Hunter, what is it?
Well, I'd tell you if you stopped interrupting me.
She said I was to kill you.
Oh, I beg you, Hunter, please don't kill me.
Okay, the porn jokes are becoming way too easy. Don't worry, princess, I won't kill you. I'll just leave you here to die. Well, my conscience is clear. I wonder what's on Netflix. Why is this dress turning into a hoodie not still a thing? That seems amazing. Holy shit, Ewoks! Oh, no, wait, it's just the guy from True Grit. So as she's walking through the woods, looking for shelter, she stumbles upon a home that belongs to the 7 dwarves.
Is anybody here?
So the dwarves left the house with the fire burning? Man, these guys are irresponsible. Wait a second. Kid-sized furniture, kid-sized clothes, kid-sized beds, covered in things posing like Michael Jackson. Wrong house! Wrong house! Don't we all have that friend that likes taking little bits and pieces off of everybody's plate? What the hell, bitch? Get your own food! That better be a nightcap. After Snow White is finished vandalizing these poor little people's home, she decides to take a nap. Eating all those other people's foods must have been really exhausting. That's when the dwarves decide to come home.
Up the mountain and down again 7 times with 7 little men.
Oh my god, this is hell.
The lights are on in our house. Somebody must be there.
Where am I?
This is hell.
You're in our house. We're the 7 dwarfs.
Oh, I've seen that look before. Things are about to get kinky.
What are your names?
I am Whitey, and the next one is Bushy.
I'm called Eddie, and I'm called Teddy, and this one is Freddie. My name is Blackie.
Philly, Kitty, Oin, Loin, Darlin, Barlin, Buffer, Buffer, Bumper. Dory. The leader of our company, Soren Oakenshield.
And I am called Bim Bam, and who are you? Yes, who are you?
My name is Snow White. My father is the king of this whole land.
Even though we never see him in the movie. The dwarves beg Snow White to stay. They offer her food and shelter in exchange for helping to take care of some of the chores around the house.
Shall I cook for you?
Yes.
And keep everything clean?
Oh, please
And
do.
wash all the dishes?
Yes.
Do the sewing and mending?
Yeah, look at this hole in my pants.
Bam Bam, put your dick away! Okay, that's it. I'm done.
When the music's over and all the dancing is through, you will say like me, I am glad to have met.
That deer has an amazing voice. Why can't the movie be about her? The queen learns that Snow White is still alive and that the hunter lied to her. You know, for an evil queen, she's very trusting. The queen calls her handmaiden, who looks like she was getting ready to cosplay one of the Sanderson sisters, to bring the hunter before her.
Snow White is alive. You'll pay for this for the rest of your life. Guard!
Oh no, not the guards. Stop. Oh no. Damn it, Gary, why did you do that? Why didn't you take the torch with you back up the stairs? Now we have to go back up in the dark. These guards are the worst.
What do you think will happen when the wicked queen finds Snow White?
What are you asking me for? You're the narrator. Here we see the hazing ritual of the 8th dwarf.
Snow White, today you're going to be all alone in the house. Watch out for the wicked queen.
You don't have to worry. I can take care of myself all right.
Yes, they do. Holy shit, do they have to worry about you. After learning that the hunter had lied to her about Snow White's death, the evil queen decides to take matters into her own hands and kill her herself.
Oh, she's not very far from the dwarf's house now.
That's the last time I take an Uber to the middle of the woods. So the queen poses as a belt salesman and tricks Snow White into trying on some belts. And by tricks, I mean just kinda asks.
What are you doing? Not so tight.
She then tries to squeeze the life out of Snow White. Literally.
White as snow, red as blood, black as ebony.
Dead as doornail. The dwarves come home and find out she's been choked out harder than a pro wrestler in a championship match, but are able to get the belt off of her and bring her back to life.
She's moving.
Once the queen finds out that she is still alive, she tries a second time to come and kill Snow White.
Good morning, my child.
She's not even trying to hide her face. Yeah, Snow White may be pretty, but is she blind?
Blind?
So the queen tricks her into using a poison comb, and Snow White dies again.
Now who's the prettiest in all the land?
And then the dwarves come and then save her. Again.
I've got to look this up very carefully so that I don't make any mistakes.
Oh my god, that's a look that says, "Oh no, not you guys. Is this movie over yet? Why can't I be dead? I swear, if I have to clean one more pair of your skid-marked toddler pants, I'm gonna go find the queen and off myself." After finding out that Snow White is still alive, the queen resorts to her final weapon. Drastic jump cuts.
I shall kill her, even if it costs me my life.
After the handmaiden eavesdrops on the queen's monologue to kill Snow White, she runs down to the dungeon to free the hunter. So let me just guess, the guards are being awful. Yup! Seriously, these guards are the worst. From this angle, it looks like the fountain is shooting water out of his nipples. The queen tries one final time to kill Snow White with a poisoned apple using the only weakness she has. Peer pressure.
Delicious, isn't it?
As the queen runs away, finally happy to be rid of Snow White, Thor decides to use her for target practice. And she's dead. No, seriously, that's it. You don't see her ever again. You don't even see her body at the end of the movie. She's just dead. Oh well. In their grief, the dwarves built Snow White a glass coffin. Probably because Germans have a weird thing about watching things decompose. And she remains there with the dwarves guarding her, either for several months or one very weird global warming-induced day. The prince and the hunter find the coffin, and the prince makes the creepiest proposition I've heard in this movie yet.
Give me Snow White. I'll give you a rich reward.
He tries to buy her corpse from the dwarves so that he can love it forever?
Give me her coffin.
I knew this must have been the wrong movie! The dwarves are obviously skeptical of the prince's very odd proposal, but he claims to love her. Even though they've never actually spoken or even met, they only saw each other from several hundred feet away one time a week ago. And because it's fairy tale logic, the dwarves believe him, and decide that Snow White should be taken to the castle, where one of them, who's acting as a pallbearer, trips over a root and accidentally invents the Heimlich maneuver. She coughs up the apple and wakes up, and takes being trapped in a glass box a lot better than some other people would.
I'm in a glass case of emotion!
Now try and follow me. She sees the prince, she gets engaged to the prince, she marries the prince. That's the end of the movie. I love how the hunter blows that horn directly into that horse's face, and the horse is just like, "Dude, come on, turn your head! I now pronounce you Mr. and Mrs. Michael Sarah White. You may now awkwardly stare at your bride." And that's it. The end. No, seriously, that's it. That's the end. There's no credits. It just stops. I looked for hours to try and find more information on who made this movie, but there's just so very little out there. The various distributors and production companies who have held the rights to this film have pretty much vanished from the face of the earth. Now, it's by far not the worst movie ever made, but it is one of the most boring and stupid. Between the guards being the worst that I've ever seen put on film and Snow White being so stupid that it borders on suicidal, it was kind of a hard watch. But the movie's biggest issue by far is the pacing. This is a very slow movie. It takes an extremely long time for anything to actually happen, and the climax is so quick and so out of nowhere that there's absolutely no payoff for all the buildup that went into it. If you blink, or in my case, fall asleep while watching it, then you're just gonna miss it. There are some shots that linger way too long without any dialogue. For example, when the queen first leaves the castle to go after Snow White, it goes on for almost a solid minute. Speaking of the castle, however, that is one of the highlights of the film. The castle they filmed in is gorgeous. They filmed it at Neuschwanstein Castle in Bavaria, which is a very popular filming spot. It should look familiar because it's been used in several other films, including Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, The Great Escape, and was actually the inspiration for Sleeping Beauty's castle in Disneyland. I do have to give the movie props for sticking closer to the original Grimm's fairy tale, even if it doesn't include all the cannibalism. You heard me right. In the original fairy tale, the queen asks the hunter to cut out Snow White's liver and lungs so that she can cook them and eat them. Ugh. It's a cute movie, and if you've got little kids and you want to entertain them with something in the background because they just happen to love Snow White and are too young to make porn jokes about it every 10 minutes, then I'd say give it a try. It was easily worth the $1 that I paid for it. Thank you guys so much for watching my second episode. I really appreciate it. Tune in next week and we should be able to have something maybe even a little sillier than this. Thanks, guys. And if you haven't already, check out my first episode. This one. It's this one right here. Yeah, this one. It's a good one. I'm funny. Yep.